I'm Holly Michael, editor and publisher of the Twin Creek Times, and this is our preview for April 29. It's a little bit windy here at the Farmersville Pool, but I wanted to film here because this is our main story for this week. There's a lot to decide by the Village of Farmersville, the Township trustees, and the community together about the future of the pool. The current special levy that funds the pool will expire at the end of the year. So local officials are working to discern what the community wants to do going forward. One option is to put a levy on that will generate $2 million over the next 10 years and maintain the pool and keep the pool. Another option is to do a smaller $1 million levy that will not include a pool, but a large splash pad in its place, but also include money to update the community center and make it a larger facility and do some other things at the park, including possibly an amphitheater, additional courts for pickleball, tennis, or basketball, and other improvements like that. So there's a meeting May 18th. And again, my story gets into the details of that and the options that have already been shared in an earlier community meeting that happened in April. My list this week looks at Preble County covered bridges. And I was delighted to find out that you can drive right through those with your car, just like you're traveling through that area in days of old. And I actually made it a two-parter. So this week I have the first 4 of the bridges, and then next week will be the next 4 of the total 8 bridges in Preble County that are covered bridges, historical covered bridges. And I encourage you to check it out. And I've included in this week's story a link to the Google map that I created that toured my family and I through Preble County to see all of them. Other stories this week include a reminder about the May primary that's coming up May 5th. And I did want to point out that while it is a primary, on the Republican side, there's an important decision to be made about who will represent us in the House in Columbus between Rodney Creech and Farmersville pastor J. Todd Smith. And the other important decision for Jackson Township residents is I know I talked about a special pool levy that may be on the ballot in November, but in the May ballot, there is a police levy and a roads levy for Jackson Township. They have not been publicized or campaigned about by the township, but they are on the levy and they are important to keep the roads and law enforcement levels that we have here in Jackson Township. This week, we also talk about a 7th grade art program that is a joint project between the Historical Society and the school and the library, supported by the Lions Club. And I'll show you some photos from the Center Street Market from last weekend and tell you about the future markets that are coming out through the summer. And I have a story about Jim Earsman and ending his 55-year career as a barber at the Mug and Brush in Farmersville. Hope you have a great week.